about Moses. And God sent him, well, first God arranged for him to have his training in Pharaoh's palace for 40 years. And then he had the last of his training out herding sheep for 40 years. And then God sent him back to Egypt. We talked last week about him and Aaron going in before Pharaoh and performing the miracles in front of Pharaoh. Pharaoh's guys duplicated him. Pharaoh wasn't impressed. So now God told Moses, go out and meet Pharaoh by the river Nile in the morning. And he told him what he wanted him to do. So Moses met Pharaoh out there, and he said, let Israel go to worship God. If you don't, God's going to turn this river into blood. Well, Pharaoh, you're nothing. I don't even want to talk to you. So Moses stretched out, wasn't Moses, Aaron. Moses told Aaron to stretch out his staff over the river, and when he did, the whole river turned to blood. All the fish died, because fish can't live in blood, they need water. And everything stank really, really bad. Now, why would God choose this? To change the river into blood? One, it got their attention, and that may be the main reason. But also, Egypt had 3 different gods that they worshipped that were connected to the river Nile. God proved that those 3 gods were not really gods. That he, the great I am, was the one who controlled the river. Now the magicians, they performed some magic, voodoo, and it looked like they did the same miracle. And I don't know if they secretly dropped minerals into water so that it would look like blood, or if they had some satanic spell they performed that transformed it. I don't know, and it doesn't matter because it wasn't what the real God did. Pharaoh said, no, you know what? I'm not going to let you go. Even though we have to dig for a whole week, they had to dig wells to get water because they couldn't get water from the river. He wasn't going to let him go. You have a question?
Isn't the Nile River connected to the ocean? So does it just, the blood river just end at some certain point?
It probably flowed out into the Mediterranean and then diluted out into that. Moses said, okay, since you didn't pay attention to the river turning to blood, the next thing that's going to happen is frogs are going to come out of the river. And not just a few little froggy frogs come out of the river. What's going to happen is frogs are going to come out of the river in such large numbers that they're going to be in your bed, they're going to be in your food, in your ovens. You're going to have to walk on them. There are going to be so many frogs. This was actually another strike at another god of Egypt. They worshipped frogs, which really presented a problem. They weren't allowed to kill them. And they couldn't step on them because that would kill them. So they were kind of stranded. And how gross to have frogs in your food in the first place, and you can't do anything about it because you can't kill the things. Pharaoh said, all right. Get rid of the frogs. Make them go away. So Moses said, okay, when? I'll let you choose. When should they go away? Pharaoh said, tomorrow morning. I think I'd have chose tonight. I don't think I'd want to sleep with frogs another night. But Pharaoh, I guess, wanted to show he was still in charge. So he said tomorrow morning. The next day, all the frogs died. So the only frogs that were left were the ones in the river. Pharaoh changed his mind. He wouldn't let them go. So Moses said, okay, this is what we're going to do next. Aaron hit the dirt. When he did, lice came up in the whole land. Now that alone is punishment, because lice are nasty, they bite, they're horrible to start with. But the Egyptians worshipped a god that was the god of the dirt. Our God was proving he was the one controlling the dirt, the water, the frogs. He controlled it all, not these pretend gods the Egyptians had. In addition, if you had lice, you were not allowed in the Egyptian temples to worship. If your sacrifice had lice, it wasn't allowed to be sacrificed in the temples. God ended all worship in the false temples to the false gods for the duration of this plague, with that one striking of the dirt. Still, Pharaoh said, "No, I don't think I'll let you go." And we're going to leave him there till next week, because 3 plagues is enough for today.
There's 7 altogether, right?
10. So we'll cover more next week. Okay, and sing our song. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because